Welcome, dear Sunnybank Bible Study Family, to our daily gospel meditation. Together, we will reflect on the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 10, verses 24 to 33.
You know that exhausting hustle of modern life? We all feel it, right? Well, let's jump right into this explainer because today we're looking at an amazing antidote to all that stress. We're exploring a beautiful reflection from the Sunnybank Bible Study Family, dated July 11th, 2026, called Resting in the Father's Intimate Gaze. This is all about totally shifting our perspective, away from how the world harshly judges us and toward how we are lovingly seen from above. So, let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like your efforts are just completely invisible? We really need to unpack this deep-seated modern anxiety. So often in the daily grind, we feel like we're just another face in the crowd, or, a name on a corporate spreadsheet waiting to be processed. We spend every single day relentlessly trying to prove our worth, and honestly, it's completely draining.
To really get to the bottom of this exhaustion, look at how the world measures us versus how the Father measures us. It's literally night and day. The world demands that we weigh our value on a scale of achievements, how loud the applause is, and this endless performance-driven treadmill. You essentially have to buy your worth. But the Father's measure, that is radically different. Here, your value is a fully supplied gift. It's all about inherent worth and intimate love. God is literally inviting us to step off that exhausting treadmill and just rest in the fact that our value is a pre-existing gift. We don't have to earn it.
Okay, let's step into what I like to call the sanctuary of Scripture to see how this works. In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus hits this performance anxiety right on the head. He builds this beautiful sanctuary of stillness for us when he says, "A disciple is not superior to his teacher, nor a slave to his master. Do not be afraid of them, therefore." He's basically reminding us to recognize our humble place as disciples. Sure, he acknowledges that the world is probably going to misunderstand us, maybe even unfairly judge us, but he explicitly commands us to find courage anyway. We absolutely cannot let the fear of human judgment dictate our inner peace.
And then he pushes us a bit further. What I say to you in the dark, tell in the daylight. What you hear in whispers, proclaim from the housetops. This is such a brilliant illustration of fearless witness. He's urging us to take those quiet, deeply comforting truths we learn in our personal moments of prayer, when we're just resting in his gaze, and go share them boldly with the world. We aren't meant to hide our faith, guys. We're meant to live it out loud, totally unashamed.
Which brings us to the absolute core of this message. Can you not buy 2 sparrows for a penny, and yet not one falls to the ground without your Father knowing? Think about that. Jesus uses a sparrow, a tiny creature of almost zero worldly value, literally 2 for a penny, to show us the boundless, meticulous attention of the Father. I mean, if the Creator of the universe pays that much attention to a tiny bird, just imagine the loving gaze he holds you in.
Let's actually zoom in on that image of the sparrow for a second.
0. That is exactly the number of hairs on your head that go uncounted by the Father. Getting a grip on this metaphor is a real game changer for our daily spiritual lives. As the Gospel says, every single hair has been counted. This emphasizes that no detail of your life, nothing, is too small to be noticed. In God's secret place of love, you are known completely. 0 details overlooked.
And this brings us to this incredible concept, absolute, intimate providence. This is the profound realization that your life is not just some random series of accidents. Instead, it is constantly, deliberately, and lovingly held in the gaze of God. Truly grasping this is what takes our faith and moves it from our heads right down into our hearts, and that is what actually heals our spiritual exhaustion.
So, the ultimate takeaway from all of this is this beautifully simple yet entirely freeing reassurance. You are worth more than many sparrows. It frees us from the fear of worldly judgment. It stops us from constantly trying to perform for our worth. You are already infinitely valuable to the only observer who actually matters.
Now, how do we practically apply this? Let's talk about building the domestic church. Seriously, how do we bring this massive, illuminating truth into our messy, everyday family routines? We can live out this gospel right in our own homes through 3 simple steps that transform our everyday family life into a domestic church. Step 1, practice fearless witness. Step 2, acknowledge Christ visibly. And step 3, trust in his care. It's all about taking these huge theological ideas of providential care and just effortlessly weaving them into the fabric of our day.
Well, practicing fearless witness might just mean speaking the truth with the gentleness of Christ to a family member. Acknowledging Christ visibly could be as simple as hitting pause to pray grace before a shared meal. Or, I love this one from the Sunnybank family, placing a fresh sprig of native wattle by a crucifix to welcome his presence into your morning. And finally, trusting in his care means consciously handing over one specific anxiety to him. These might seem like tiny gestures, but in the home, they carry an eternal significance.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to focus on this one powerful shift: faith from the head to the heart. We join in the prayer of the Sunnybank Bible Study Family here, asking for the courage to live as beloved children, totally free from the need for the world's applause. Spiritual wholeness only starts when we let this knowledge of God's intimate gaze drop out of our intellectual brains and down into the living, breathing reality of our hearts.
So I want to leave you with this question and really think about it. What is one specific anxiety about the future that you will consciously hand over to the Father today? When you decide to walk with the courage of the beloved, resting deeply in his intimate, providential care, what burden are you finally ready to just let go of? Thank you so much for exploring this with me today. Take a deep breath, remember the sparrow, and I'll see you next time.